Do you ever hear people talking about their side hustles and think, why not me? Well, what's stopping you? We worked with HubSpot to create a database of 100 side hustle ideas that you can start now. Everything from design and real estate to public speaking and wellness. There's something in there for everyone. Plus, we cover the skills you need and the investment you'll probably have to make to get started. Ready to break out of your 9-to-5? Go to HubSpot.com/THDS to download for free. Happy New Year, everybody. It's Thursday, January 2nd. I'm John Weigell with Juliet, Bennett, and this is the Hustle Daily Show. Chinese company Taqu began a rental girlfriend service in 2017. The girlfriends, thankfully, were not real and were actually just sex dolls. You might be thinking this product failed because of, being a daily rental sex doll, but that's actually not the reason at all. So first off here, Juliet, can you tell us a little bit about Taqu and this product?
So Taqu, it means touch in English, and it sells a variety of adult products and, sex toys, including sex dolls. So, it was already in this market. It wasn't like it made some other product or it only made this one thing. It was already in the adult market.
Sure.
So just to be clear, I think we need to be clear about what a shared girlfriend is in our modern times, because now we've got AI bots and
yes, AI bots and
companion robots. And
right. We need a clarification.
Yes, right. So the shared girlfriend was a sex doll, like a silicone sex doll. The thing is, Taqu was thinking about people who are not wealthy. It was thinking about, economic equality. It was like, it's expensive to buy a high quality silicone sex doll. Not everyone can afford this,
right?
But maybe everyone should have the opportunity. So I decided to make a shared sex doll that customers could rent. There were 5 different models, including one that looked like Wonder Woman, which I think is really funny because I feel like every man over 40 I know has a lifelong crush on Linda Carter. So I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And for a mere $46 a day, one of these dolls could be yours for, however long.
Wow.
And then when you were done renting the doll, it would go back and then go to another person.
Right. And in between that time, it seems like they would detach the bottom and clean everything and then ship it off to the next person.
Yes.
A company for the people.
Yes. So just to be clear, the doll would be thoroughly cleaned in between rentals, just in case anyone was wondering.
Good. That's really good news.
Mm-hmm.
Just the idea of taking a silicone sex doll, making 5 of them, and saying to yourself, you know what? Everyone should have access to these. Let's bring down the barriers. Yes. And for $46, you can have one for a day. So That's really nice of them. Mm-hmm. Obviously, it's an adult company, right? They make things like this generally. Which is interesting that this is a failed product, because you would think that there's a lot of reasons that it would fail because of the rental aspect and the hygienics of it all.
Right.
But why did it actually fail? Because that doesn't seem like it was the case.
Right. And this is fascinating because I saw one of the dolls at the Museum of Failed Products several years ago, and I saw the doll and I heard that it was a shared doll that people rented by the day. And I was like, oh, well, obviously people didn't want to be doing intimate things with an object that someone else did an intimate thing with. Duh. No, that is not at all why it failed. It actually failed because the Chinese government didn't like it. A Taqu spokesperson told Motherboard that the police had contacted them, calling the plan vulgar, and fined them the equivalent of about $340. And then Taqu closed the service. It never rented a single doll. No one got to use any of the dolls. But it did say that, in the future, it would continue to look for ways to normalize sex and sexuality and talk about it openly. So that didn't work out for them, but they never lost their values.
It seems like it. And it seems like they're still operating today. But that does make a lot of sense in China.
I couldn't tell you because I think if I look it up on my work computer, I'll get like an alert that tells me I'm in trouble. But I think there's
I did not dare look this up on my work computer, but I had other means.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but it does make sense. You do not think that the Chinese government would be happy with something like this. So it does make sense that it did get shut down. But 2017, a pretty interesting time to create a service called Shared Girlfriend, because a lot of AI companies are starting to do a very similar thing now. I think a lot of them woefully based off of that movie Her. At least that's what I flash back to.
Yes, for sure. Or Blade Runner 2049.
Yes, exactly. A lot of AI companies are starting to do this nowadays and doing kind of a shared girlfriend or shared lover mentality. We even talked about that AI platform, Angry Girlfriend, that gives you a girlfriend for straight men who tells you to shape up emotionally.
Yes.
So I guess maybe the idea of having a shared inanimate lover is not before its time, but maybe the idea of having a shared sex doll is.
Yeah, I think we will see, for better or worse, a lot of people finding companionship with AI. It's already happening. And I think most people understand that this is a bot and you are sharing this bot with the internet at large. Although I do think a lot of these AI bots do have the capacity to learn from the user and sort of become more personalized. I have also seen, although it was a very uncanny valley situation, there are companies that are trying to put an AI brain essentially into a robot or into a doll.
Wow.
So you have the physical doll and then it learns from you and it can sort of pick up things and it can say your name. And at this point, now we're in that Alex Garland movie, what's it, Ex Machina?
Yeah.
Now we're in a different sci-fi movie. But, that seems like it might be a thing that happens in the future. But I think it's still true that those dolls are going to be very prohibitively expensive. So I don't know, maybe the United States or another country is a place where these shared sex doll will take off. But until then, I think the AI bots, if you really are just looking to, I don't know, talk to a robot about sexy times, I mean, that is much cheaper. And that is something that is happening.
And available to you right now. I mean, GPT-4o, I'm pretty sure it doesn't have those capabilities yet.
Oh, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It does not. So I was just reading that OpenAI actually does not allow not safe for work content. It doesn't.
Yeah,
want
that's
that.
right.
But they are looking into ways to ethically allow it, to allow people to use its suite of tools to produce erotic content, whether that's fan fiction or a conversation with a bot or images or whatever. But it wants to make sure that it does that ethically. So it will never allow deepfakes. You can never say, hey, this specific person, make me a sex version of them. Now we're in the Black Mirror episode USS Callister. That is where we are in the dystopia.
Doing a lot of jumping today. I felt like very Westworldian as well.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be tricky because, I think people want to use this technology for a wide variety of things, including sex. But yeah, how do you do it ethically? Apparently in China, not at all. But here,
yeah,
we'll see.
Jury's out here. All right, and that'll do it for us today. Thanks, everyone, for tuning into the Hustle Daily Show. We're a proud part of the HubSpot Podcast Network. Our editor today is Robert Hartwig, and our executive producer is Darren Clark. We've got a ton more tech and business coverage in our newsletter. If you're not subscribed, you'll get yourself signed up at thehustle.co/email, and we'll catch you later. Hey everybody, it's your host, John Weigell. If you love the insights HubSpot brings to your podcast feed, then you're going to love Marketplace Tech. This daily podcast keeps you up to speed about the latest in tech news and what it all means for the economy. With stories about AI regulation, the fight against misinformation, and the latest in crypto, Marketplace Tech is essential listening to understand the business behind innovation. Listen to Marketplace Tech wherever you get your podcasts.